RC Peck here. The question I have is, what is the most reckless thing happening in the market right now? And I do these Ask RCs to be timeless, to be evergreen. And so when I say right now, it's always the same thing. But when I tell you the examples of what's going on right now that I think is really reckless, you're going to think of it as, but that's just right now. It's not always been that way, but it actually has. So the question is, what's the most reckless thing that's happening in the market right now? So the obvious answer is, someone would say, well, the Fed is printing money or central banks are printing money. So if you're in the US, it's, the US Fed, and the dollar is apparently going to go to zero and gold's going to go to $10,000. So the reckless thing is not looking at the price chart. If you believe the US dollar is going to fail or it's going to collapse, the best thing someone could do is actually look at a price chart of the US dollar and say, is it actually collapsing? And one of the problems people have when they do this, if they even do this, and most people don't, what they'll do is maybe they'll look at someone else's price chart and it'll just show like 1 year and it'll show like this, this steep downtrend. But the key is to actually zoom back, right? To zoom back and even zoom back 10, 20, 30 years and look at the US dollar. Go back 50 years when the US dollar was taken off the gold standard in August of 71. And have a huge picture and go, well, that's the dollar since it's been off the gold standard and it hasn't collapsed. So the biggest mistake is not that the dollar, you're being told, you're being this narrative, right? You're being told this narrative, this kind of reckless, unattainable narrative that the dollar is going to go to zero. The thing is, you could just check. You could go figure out how to find a 50-year price chart of the US dollar and look at it and go, well, it's been around a half a century. It's the longest fiat currency on the planet. Now, guys, I'm not a dollar bug or a gold bug. I am a stable uptrend bug. I want to be on things that are going up in stable uptrends, right? I'm not really connected or attached to what they are, but all things being equal, you want to own things that are sustainable. So the most reckless thing that's going on in the market is a narrative, right? And it's always going to be a slightly different narrative, right? Maybe it's the dollar collapse, okay? Or maybe it's the Dow Jones going to 5,000 or 10,000 or getting cut in half, right? Here's the thing. When you are scared, you buy more. And all the algorithms on the planet have figured this out. Facebook has figured out that if Facebook ads can scare you, you will click more and they will make more money. So the big $1 trillion companies, right? These algorithms, they've figured out that reckless information, scary information, dollar going to zero, stock market getting cut in half. That's the most reckless thing going on in the market. Right? It's not whether crypto is going to double or triple or quintuple or halve, right? It's having narratives that hurt you. And then you stay out of the market, right? You have your money in cash for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years because of this reckless nature of the narrative. And that's not going to change. It's only going to continue to accelerate. And that's what I think is the most reckless thing happening in the market today, is this increased narrative that you're absolutely going to be crushed. And the thing is, when investors get older, right, when they go and they're in their 50s and then 60s, they actually become worse investors because their earnings runway goes away. And that is really scary. They don't want to go back to work, right? They want to be able to take their life savings and make sure they can get their monthly expenses covered, right? And so they are taught reckless narratives that you have to own a pot stock or a gold stock, even though maybe gold is falling. And this is the same thing with gold. You can pull up a price chart of gold and you can look at it and say, is it actually going up? Is it going down? Or is it, I don't really know what it's doing. And so the most reckless thing that's happening in the market today, and it's only going to increase. You can watch this video the moment it's made or in 20 years. that reckless narrative to scare people is the thing that's actually hurting people the most. Because again, if you're told the market's crashing, but it's not actually crashing, that is a reckless thing to do to your money. Thanks, guys, for being in my world. Again, this is RC Peck with Ask RC, and I will see you on the next video. All right, thanks, guys. Hey, guys, thanks so much. If you love this video, you are absolutely going to love our research service. Literally, it's 5 services in one. I think you're going to love what those services are. Go ahead and click and check them out. All right, thanks.